Alrighty, what is going on, YouTube? A little sunny out. Got out here pretty early, but I also had to stop by a couple places before we actually came out here. So, as y'all saw, we got a couple warm-up putts in, and we just got these bad boys. So, I wanted to switch. I knew I wanted to switch for a long time now, but I didn't know what to go with. So it was in between the Pixels, the AVR, and the it's another Axiom mold. It wasn't the Envy, the Proxy. Proxy's a little bit faster of a putting putter, but we're gonna try these Simon Lizotte Pixels out first and just see exactly how they fly with the putting. And plus, this is our first episode of Better by the Day, so yeah. Make sure y'all leave a like for this new series. We're just gonna be going off of this, so every single time y'all see a course vlog or me working on something, then it's gonna be the Better by the Day. And then every other upload we'll see, I just wanted to give like this series an actual title instead of just disc golf vlogs and titling it whatever. Putting with new putters today is a focus. Also, another focus that we got is speeding up our run up with our backhand. So those are gonna be our two objectives. Can't really throw too many forehands, but I do got some new discs out of the bag, so if I need to do a soft low forehand, we got that in the bag still. But I gotta warm up a little bit more, get everything stretched out, but I just wanted to give y'all a little update on what's going on for this round today. Alrighty, hole 1, par 3, 299 feet is what the T sign says. And I just want to say shout out to the maintenance crew out here. The last couple times I came out here, they've been working very hard on this particular course. I've been seeing them planning or moving goalposts around and adjusting some of the T signs, so shout out to LCU maintenance crew. Like I said, main focus today, backhand. We're gonna be throwing a lot of backhands today, so typically not my forte on some of these holes, but it's open course, it's workable. And also I got a couple new molds in the bag, so can't wait to showcase those whenever the time gets right. But off this first hole, rock 3 off this right side. That should be good, I think. Oh yeah, probably gonna be a little obstructed by that tree on the left side, but that'll work out, that'll play. Okay, the main thing for these Pixels, and the reason why I grabbed 2 instead of 1, because I am be practicing and putting a lot with these over the next week. And then next week, we're gonna be switching over and trying something else. But we're gonna be trying to get as many weeks done and how many putting putters I wanna get reviewed over the span of these next couple months. And then by January or by the end of January, we have a good idea of what we kind of want to putt with. And so that way we could actually have plenty of putters that we could actually practice putting with. And then after a good amount of time, since I will be putting constantly with them, then we'll make our decision by hopefully the end of January. But today I'm not looking for these to be lifesavers. I just want them to be straight, get some glide, and then hopefully hit more basket than not. Good layup. Unfortunate circumstance, can't actually get a putt on the first one, but we'll take the par. And I want to take y'all into a little bit of my mindset of why I think I need to work on my backhand legs, like my footwork a little bit more. Is I made an adjustment with my forehand, which forehand video coming soon on how I fix mine, so look forward for that in the coming days. One little adjustment helped me get some actual distance in my forehand. And I think I have a faster upper body in my lower body, since it is a little bit more thicker and a little bit more heavier. I feel like drags behind a little bit, so I'm looking just to get those muscles firing a little bit more, and hopefully that offsets the speed of my upper body. I'm not saying I'm the fastest on all my muscles, but I just think that, I forget too much about the lower body, that maybe I just need to speed it up a little bit. Oh yeah, brand new mold to the bag, fireball. Oh yeah, swing baby, hard, faster. Dang, went long. Probably could have cut it in just a little bit more, but we'll take a putt. Already got the sweat going a little bit. Had to raise my hat up, get a little bit of that breeze going to the forehead. I ruined so many hats, especially coming out here, and then I made the bad decision of wearing a sweater because I thought it was going to be a little bit more breezy. I packed another shirt inside the car. Probably would have been wise just to wear that instead of this sweater, but we're gonna rock it out. We need to lose weight anyways. Unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. Bad decision making by me. Alrighty, it's time to see if the Pixel fixes that low miss with the focus that we've been having. Just off right, gonna be a long bid. Just hopefully we don't airball, or these don't fade off too far left. In all honesty, not mad at those bids, or that first bid. Faded off just a tiny bit, but had the distance. If they actually got more centered, I think he would have kind of ramped off into the cage. Now, I'm not gonna be super biased. I know that it's a new putter, and I know it's that honeymoon stage, but I need to be as fair as a reviewer because the Focus did have plenty of good putts for me in the past. Can't jump the gun too much on these Focuses and just bash the Focus, or can't get too high and praise the Pixel too much because the Focus did have a good run for me. So this ain't bash the Focus day. It's let's see what the Pixel does versus the Focus. You know, going to the disc golf shop, well, not really disc golf shop, played again this morning. I was in the market for a Firebird or a Raptor, but I started looking at the profiles and everything, and they all just felt too straight. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm at that point where I can kind of tell what discs are gonna do, but they just felt very familiar to all the other Raptors and Firebirds I've felt recently. So decided just to go with the whole new mold, and after the first couple throws, I can already tell I like it. Off the first hole, I did a couple warm-ups, and I actually threw a couple soft forehands, and it flew perfect. So we're gonna see how long that stays like that. All right, here we go. Hole 3, 364, going rock because we got a little bit of tailwind here. I slipped, but that's still gonna work out. Just fade a little bit more for me, please. Yeah, wide open look, terrible slip. We prevail. Alrighty, and plus, these have a little bit of a micro bead, so kind of curious to see how that flies. My finger I don't really necessarily need a bead on my putters. Sometimes it does feel a little bit more comfortable for me because I used to putt with Judges. So that's why I did like the Focus for a little bit. But I've also putted with Alpacas that have no bead. So who knows what it's gonna feel like for the next coming week. But oh, buddy, that's not even the putter. That just felt clean coming out of the hands. I bet you that was in for any putter. Now, I did go firm with the Pixel because we do live in Texas. The sun beams quite often, and with, you know, very soft plastic, it gets a little too gummy out here. Now, we are reaching the cold months, so that's another thing to kind of think of, but I need to get better at taking my bag down and coming, and then, you know, getting it from inside the house so it's not just constantly just cold. But we got a guy right there waiting by the hole, so let's just intro it. Hole number 4, 423 feet, going destroyer, and just seeing if I can just put it out to the right side. Right to left wind should bring it into the basket. That should work out, honestly, pretty decently. Oh, park the basket. Don't even need the Pixel for that one right there. We might just putt with the same disc that we just threw. Alrighty, first bullseye hit today by yours truly. Bag on putt, not a problem. Okay, hole number 5, 482 feet. I don't know why I ever overlooked the speed at which I need to move my feet. I guess I've watched too many form videos and they tell you to slow everything down and make sure you're hitting all your spots. But I think once you reach a certain level to where you know what your upper body's gonna do, then you gotta focus on your lower body. I know everybody works from the ground up, but I've done that many different times, that my backhand reach back and everything is fully developed, and I've worked on the pull through so many times that I completely ignored the footwork. Don't know what it is. I guess it's just, you know, I've been looking for distance for a long time, and, you know, getting the forehand footwork corrected put into my mind about the backhand footwork and just about speeding everything up. Oh, okay, that was terrible. Where did we go? Okay, we went sky high. Dang it, I needed to get that one low. Throwing downhill, you gotta remember to be on a level plane, because you're not throwing level, you're throwing straight. Just messed that tee shot completely up. Okay, after that blunder of a tee shot, still got a little pin high. Only thing now is just to make it. I would do a soft little touch-up shot with one of my other discs, but we're gonna test out the range of this Pixel. Going into a little bit of a headwind, so let's see how it fights these West Texas winds. Gonna give it an actual jumper right here. Not mad at that flight. It came out a little wobbly, but that's just due to my inconsistent release. Okay, and they're not straight. If you put them on hyzer, they're just gonna fly on hyzer, which I guess that means that they're straight. hole number 6, 390 feet. And typically I do end up short here, but we got a helping pushing right to left wind. Want to get a little bit past the basket, so I'm gonna go with this starter story that's a little bit more straighter and just see if I can just push it off to this right side on a big old hyzer and just let it kind of cruise in. And if we end up short, we end up short, but we got a helpful wind today, so I believe we could get there. That should be right on the basket, I think. No, might have went a little bit deep depending on our skip, but I think that's good, honestly. Attack range. Also, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. We're on a good pace. We are 1, 2, 3, hopefully 4, and if we could birdie out the rest of this front 9, then we'll be looking at possibly, you know, on pace for one of our better rounds out here. But that's not the main concern. Main concern is just putting up a decent score that I'm happy with, because then that shows that everything else is, you know, kind of working its way to being better. And that's all I want to see is improvements, especially with this being like a backhand only round. All right, a little deep. There's a little bit of a drop off behind the basket, and we are spin putting today, so if we sell it, it's gonna be a long comebacker, especially into the wind. A little bit of a tail left to right, so kind of curious if these are gonna drop. Typically glidey discs get more affected by the wind, I believe, so let's just see. Probably put it band height, and it did drop. That was a good adjustment by me, just didn't put it right enough of the basket. Hole 7, 299 feet, and I was gonna do a bit about, you know, how I can't throw my forehand and then just go ahead and throw a forehand, but second guess, I gotta just trust the process of healing. Don't want to overdo it, because of this is my first forehand of the day and I just did a couple of shots to warm up. Probably not the best results, so it ain't worth it for the bit. So I'm going with the Luna, pretty much a dead straight shot with the helping tailwind. Oh, that thing's too stable for me. Dang it. Whew, baby. Thought I was gonna at least get that to fly a little bit straighter. That's some beef right there. What the heck? A little bit of a longer putt. I'll put you up behind the basket because I gotta go look for it. But a little bit of a right to left wind. These should possibly get lifted and then hyzer into the basket. So that's what we're gonna plan for, and depending on where we're at. Oh, that looked good. Well, I knew I could give it just a little bit more harder of a bid. Didn't want to step putt it, but I knew we had this hillside kind of helping us, so we didn't go too far. Alrighty, hole number 8, 500 feet is what the T sign says. And I don't know my distances disc wise, but I know we got a right to left pushing wind, a little bit of a tailwind, and it's in the far corner. There's OB right and left over the fence line. So I think I'm just gonna go racer, which, good news for me, we got this bad boy back. The oldest racer in my bag. I only got 2 of them, but I just threw the other one inside the bag because this one got lost, but I found it. So let's see if this one could go near the basket. This honestly might take the strike right out of the bag, depending on how it flies. Oh, okay. That's going over the fence for sure. Come back left hard. Dang it. That's in the road, dude. Ah! R.I.P. my guy. R.I.P. All right, so now I gotta take it over here because I'm pretty sure we just faded out. But new motor in the bag, pig. We just need to get up and down 404. So I'm just gonna send this high left and just see if it could get down. That should be decent, I think. Might be a little long, but it is what it is. Dang, can't get that racer back to the end of the round too. Well, thankfully they hit it close to the edge of the street. It won't be that hard of a get, but there are people that walk along this street and, you know, hopefully nobody grabs it, but we gotta make a putt. This is to save the 4. Oh, and I just pushed it off right. Bogeyville. See, I always do this. I always get ahead of myself and say, oh, we're doing pretty good if we just birdie out, or if we just get a couple more birdies. And then I just kind of jinx myself. I'm not superstitious, but I feel like I always gear myself up and get myself hyped and then just have failures. So we're not gonna do that anymore. We just gotta make sure that our form and everything's good. The round's gonna happen however it happens. Just drop, please. Had enough distance, just didn't trust it off enough right. But I also didn't want to throw anything else because I feared that this left to right wind would kind of just take me too far right. The came in was a correct disc selection, just didn't aim it correctly. You know, one thing I think I'm holding on to the disc a little too hard. I think this one came out, I didn't get the full, you know, whip action into it. I just kind of armed it out there. So going on to the next hole, we're gonna throw a backhand turnover. So I think I'm just gonna soften up my grip, make sure I got a firm grip, not a, you know, gripping the life out of the disc. And then just see if I could just, you know, speed up everything and then just have a more looser arm. There it is. Oh, what? Dang. I'm liking these bids though. That first one felt like it was going in the whole way. Just kind of bounced out. Hole 10, par 3, 343 feet. Ended up at, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 2 under in this front nine. So, you know, we can see if we can match or beat our front nine going into this back nine. But one thing I haven't seen is the talks of the creator challenge for disc golf. That'll be awesome if that does happen. One, if that, you know, if I'm not a part of that, you know, so be it. You know, I'm not that big of a YouTuber. But if we do end up getting an invite and they invite smaller creators, I'll be happy to go. But point number 2 is, I know there's a lot of creators surrounding the Texas area, and Texas is pretty, you know, good all year round with weather wise. It might be a little bit windy, but there's a number 3 rated course in all of Texas in Ovalo. I know it's a private property, but I'm pretty sure, you know, it's a big old area, a lot of camping grounds, private property. So if the people that are, you know, advocating for the creator challenge could get in touch with the people at Ovalo, who knows, that might be the destination. Long, you know, hilly course. I don't know, could be a lot of fun, but I'm just putting it out there, just giving a little bit of an idea, and who knows if this even gets traction. I don't know, I feel like Texas will be a good spot. And I messed up. Dang it. Had a little bit of a weird little step with my plant foot. Landed a little bit more on this little thing and it kind of twisted me a little bit. Not saying that that's the reason why I couldn't get all the way into the shot. Just threw me off just a tiny bit. Alrighty, if we could just throw the exact same putt that we did on the last hole, this has a chance of going in. Because we are putting a little bit downhill and the basket's set a little bit lower. Come on, baby. Ah, we still ended up low. How do we do that? Still didn't even get it basket height from this distance. Another bogey for the books, man. Hate to see it. You know, one thing that I dislike more than bogeys is back nine bogeys, because you cut into your score that you place on the front nine, especially if you don't get any birds. So we got to turn up a little bit, man. Come on, baby. You got to throw a good one right here. Got to throw a competitive drive, going with our strike up the middle on this right side. Now, you know what? We got a right to left wind. We're going hyzer off the right side. This should have enough distance to get there. Yeah. Nice little flip up too. Come on, baby. Oh, dude, that's plenty of distance. We got a putt. Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on. Okay, I am going to let y'all in on a little secret. I got really scared at the point of release. 1, I hit my chest on the pull through. 2, I thought I didn't put it out far right enough. And 3, I thought I had way too much hyzer. So, is this a bailout? Yes. Are we going to make the putt? Let's hope so. Okay, one thing I think I'm doing, I think I'm standing too tall on my run up. So I'm gonna get the legs bent a little bit, speed up everything, and then our pull through is probably gonna be a little bit lower. I think I'm just standing too high, getting the feet and not getting any kind of, you know, power from the legs. I'm just kind of, you know, standing tall and just throwing with the upper body still. So you gotta get down a little bit lower, get those feet moving, and then throw a good shot. That's a bomb if I've ever seen one. And it's right down the fairway. Yeah, baby, I like that. Probably could have gone a little bit flippier to get some more distance, but I'm totally fine with that. A lot of different ways to attack this basket. I could go straight up with it with the Luna, but this tailwind's kind of making me want to go more of a flex line. So we're gonna try out the pig. And you know, I was falling in love with the baseline zone, but we're gonna see what kind of line this holds. I'm assuming it's gonna be probably just a tad bit more straighter because it is a used one. So I'm gonna plan for a nice little flex line, but for like a tiny bit of fade. And I didn't turn it at all. Good job, Isaac. All right, I need to actually practice that shot. You know, this is not bad. So, in a couple more days or even tomorrow, we're gonna get our forehand back. We're gonna be able to throw forehand shots again. But not having this shot dialed is worrisome a little bit. We need to fix it. So we might have another chance on the next hole, but we don't know yet. Fade. Oh, dang. Higher? Dang, hit both. Just in the middle of those two putts is a freaking make. Okay, hole 13, par 4, 774 feet. We lost our racer, so we're gonna throw the racer. This one's a little bit more stable, a little bit more flatter. We're going right into a headwind, and I'm pretty sure this is a little bit more stable. Well, I guess I just said that. But we're gonna try to put this on like a little bit of hyzer, dead straight, and just see if we could get some distance. Oh my gosh, Isaac. You're not throwing freaking spike hyzers all day, man. Forms all over the place. You try adjusting one thing and everything else goes to shambles. You know, I'm gonna throw an extra arm movement out in my run up just to see what it does, because I'm constantly hitting my chest. The hole 10 or hole 11 and hole 11 and this hole, both drives I hit my chest. So I think I'm staying too far behind, and if I do throw a correct one, then I'm rounding. So I'm gonna try and get our arm out and just see what that does, and you know, hopefully drop a dime right here in this basket. I'm liking that if we're not short. Nope, we're perfect. And didn't hit our chest. Who knows, maybe that arm swing is crucial coming up. Okay, not a tricky par 3 for today, but a little more difficult with this head right to left wind. Very grateful to even pick it up. Alrighty, this hole for y'all is gonna be hard to see, but I'll let y'all know if it's a good shot. But we're arm swinging for the rest of this round, so let's just hope that it actually fixed something. Let's see if we can keep consistent with the power. Going with the destroyer, left to right winch to flip it up and then just glide it all the way to the basket, hopefully. Yeah, I like that. We got the distance. Oh, we got plenty of distance. We're tucked behind a tree, but probably put just a tiny bit too much hyzer on that shot, but that flew perfect. Very unfortunate to land right here where we're at, but one thing that we did get a read off of, that was probably like a 65, maybe 70% shot. You know, thought we were gonna get a little bit more flip off of it, didn't. All in all, good accuracy, hit my line and everything. Just gotta figure out on how we can make this one. Ah, dang, we've been low all day today. That was good. Thought I could get that one. Hole 15, T sign says 348. I think it's more of like a 300 to 320 range shot. Got a little bit of a pushing left to right wind. I'm gonna try to cut this one. Normally I take this rock out wide and let it swing around these first two trees on the right side. But I think I'm gonna take it over that right side tree, the smaller one, and just let it kind of just drift over left. Ah, that rock's getting flippier. Or it's getting straighter, not flippy. I gotta remember, if a disc flips up, it's straight. But if a disc flips up, turns, and it just doesn't come back, then that's flippy. I gotta get the verbiage right. I am a disc golfer after all. Okay, I think this rock probably got about another, I would say, 3 more weeks. Then it'll be perfectly seasoned, and we're taking one of the rocks out of our bag, or we're taking one of the buzzes out of our bag, and we're gonna throw another rock inside the bag. So cannot wait to have a flippy rock and to put a new one in the bag. That's probably one of the more like awesome things, is seeing your disc turn into that hyzer flip, and it's especially a disc that you like. Oh buddy, nothing better than it. And I hyzered it. Need to get this wrist motion in line. I'm not throwing competitive putts today. Alrighty, hole number 16, par 4, 512 feet, and I'm gonna give this strike a nice little spank on it. We're gonna go about 75 to 80%. I just don't know if I want to do the hyzer flip or if I want to do the anhyzer. I think the anhyzer with this left to right wind has a chance of going long, so I'm gonna go hyzer off this right side and, you know, just put some more mustard in it. Oh, and that's too flippy. Dang. That's a crush nonetheless. Just didn't put it on the right line. I thought I could hyzer it and it not turn. Thought I could just get like a nice little pop-up, but I guess the strike is just, you know, we're out throwing the strike right now. Okay, went a little bit long. This was probably like a good 420 or 525 foot shot. We're probably about 5 to 6 feet long of the basket. if we were throwing it in a straight line. Let's just see if I could put this putter out right, let it kind of fade into the basket. I think I know what I messed up. I've been messing up my grip this whole video. I've been switching it. So let's get to the grip that we know we like, and let's spin the disc up there. Oh dang, that's bad. Easy birdie, but would have liked more of like that right there. Oh yeah. All right, we know we can crush the strike. I just don't think it's gonna be the shot for the next hole. We need to get the eagle. Alrighty, we're gonna test out this destroyer on that pretty much the exact same line that we tried with the strike and just see what we got. Probably the exact same distance. Yeah, 515, hole number 17. I believe we could get the destroyer there if we put this one out flat. If we put it on any bit of hyzer, we're going left, probably into the drink. I think the strike might come out of the bag, and I got some other 12 speeds that I want to try out. The destroyer will stay inside my bag as long as it stays stable, but I'm gonna be testing out 2 other discs that I've had in the bag previously and just see how they fly. They're a little bit more on the stable side, but if they're a little bit less than the destroyer, then they're guaranteed to go into the bag. Turning too much. I don't know if that's gonna come back. It should. We're just too low. Dang, we're in the high grass. That was not a good throw. That needs to come out on some hyzer. Came out really flat. Okay, all in all, not a bad shot. If we got it just a little bit higher, I think we possibly could have got pin high. There's always that what if, could have, should have kind of mentality. So this is what we did. So now we're gonna see if we can get upshot with the pixel. We're gonna give it a nice little toss because I don't think I could get the power to jump putt or even putt this. And that came out early. Thank goodness it's a straighter putter. If I was throwing the pig right there, it would have been far left. All right, a little bit of a left to right wind. I think you'll just keep the putter a little bit more straighter, so don't even gotta worry. Oh, this is too short. We could just putt it normally. Nothing really too much to worry about. Alrighty, hole 18, par 3, 289 feet. A hole that I have struggled with in the past. Let's see if we could get one up there, get 3 in a row, and put up a decent score. It's looking nice. If we could just drop now. Oh, there's a little bit of a drop off on the back side of this hole. So if we hit that down slope, there's a chance that we might be long and we could go out of bounds. Okay, went a little bit longer than I thought. We're just down this hill, but not out of bounds. And we got a right to left wind. So gonna be a little tricky, but let's see if we can end off with a bird. Honestly was scared of hitting the camera, so I put it on some Manheiser and didn't give it a lot of pop. Now, that's not the disc fault, that's my fault. I was too scared out here, but either way, we got a nice round in. I'm not mad about the result, so I need to pick up this disc real quick. But we got a nice round in, not mad at the result. What do we shoot? Ended off 5 under, which isn't bad for this full round. And plus, we had a couple mess ups. You know, y'all seen it, a lot of missed putts, a lot of shank drives. So towards the backside, I felt a little bit more confident with that little adjustment that I made by throwing my arm out and then coming back and then pulling through. Felt a lot more comfortable doing that. I thought it was just the main deal of me speeding up my legs, but I guess I was focusing too much on my legs, and then my upper body was staying the same, but I wasn't able to get my reach back on par, or I was reaching back too much and too straight instead of out, to where I was, you know, pulling through and hitting my chest a lot. We're gonna look forward to seeing what more practice does. This is our first episode and first test of Better by the Day, and you know, I didn't want to start, you know, doing these rounds and then just putting casual round on it, because that just, you know, it's not casual out here. Better by the Day, we're gonna be trying to see what we can improve on, and we're gonna keep this consistent. I'm not saying any daily videos, but whenever I do come out to the course, I'm gonna try to get recorded, and even if it isn't around, we're just gonna be throwing and doing other stuff, and I want to make it more of a consistent kind of thing. We got December coming up, and I know everybody likes to do the Vlogmas. We're gonna give it a shot until, you know, we can't do it anymore, so we gotta be looking out for that. We are gonna try to get daily content out, hopefully. I just don't expect me to go all crazy out with, like, you know, new discs and those things kind of different every single day. We live in Texas, so we're gonna have pretty much better weather than most areas, so we'll be able to play a lot of the courses. And you know, we got plenty of disc golf courses out here in Lubbock, so there's no excuse for me to, you know, be stagnant and, you know, not film at every single one of them. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully you enjoy this video. Hopefully you look forward to this series progressing. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and catch you in the next one. Peace.